Welcome to Lazdijai, southern Lithuania's Lake District, home of the only turtles in Lithuania, Esperanto language and Dzūkija spirit. You'll find Lazdijai district in the very south of Lithuania, bordering Belarus and Poland. Lazdijai district is a popular place to pass by when traveling, since it has one of the only two roads connecting to Poland. Lazdijai is quite far from the major cities in Lithuania. It is 2 hours away from the capital Vilnius and 1.5 hours away from the second largest city Kaunas. The population of Lazdijai district reaches just under 18,000 in 2022. Lazdijai district is famous for its lakes, and for that it has 2 regional parks. I have mentioned Meteliai Regional Park before, when talking about Alytus district, as it is shared between the districts. But the most of this regional park belongs to Lazdijai, and here you can find some of the largest lakes in Lithuania. Lake Dusia is the 3rd largest in the country, and Meteliai next to it is the 7th. To have a view of both, there is a very convenient observational tower built in Meteliai village. Both lakes are famous for their beaches and water activities, but there is just a little bit more to do near Dusia Lake. The largest lake in Dzūkija region is also often called Dzūkų jūra, meaning the Sea of Dzūkija, for it being so large at 2,334 hectares in size. One of the best spots to see the lake is near the Regional Park Visitor Center. There is a beach and this awesome swing in the lake. For those who like long forest walks, there also is a 3.5-kilometer long cognitive trail starting from there. And definitely not to miss is the Visitor Center itself, built at the lake shore. It is compact and all the information about the region is presented in an interesting and fun way. I have come here on a special day, for which I've been waiting for a while. I have come to see the European pond turtles, an endangered species across the whole region. In Lithuania, they can only be found in Dzūkija region. In order to help increase their population in Lithuania, some of the turtle eggs are taken to the zoo, where they hatch and safely grow throughout the winter. Then, in the early summer, when the turtles grow strong enough, they get released to their natural habitat. And that's why all these people are here on this day. Since the turtles are so rare, this is probably the only opportunity to see them. Along with the turtles, the park's employees release to the nature young European fire-bellied toads, which also are an endangered species in Lithuania. Another regional park is just half an hour away from Meteliai. Veisiejai Regional Park is surrounding a historical Veisiejai town and numerous lakes around it. The lakes here are narrow and long, creating beautiful landscape views all around the countryside. You can see a great panoramic view from an observational tower near Veisiejai town. And that is just one lake of the 37 in the regional park. That's why this place is also very popular for kayaking and camping trips. On a large peninsula in one of the lakes stands Veisiejai town. It is known since 16th century, but the oldest building left standing are the manor house built in the 18th century and the 19th century Baroque-style church. Veisiejai Manor House is renovated and today it houses the visitor center of Veisiejai Regional Park. So at the same time we can visit the manor and learn something about the region. Although there isn't much of the original interiors left, only the basement has more interesting original ceilings. The park surrounding the manor is a perfect spot to get to know Veisiejai. It was created in the 17th century and has a large variety of trees. The lakeside of the park is a lovely place for a stroll in the summer season, with a fountain and art installations in the lake. While walking through the park, we find a sculpture dedicated to the most famous person from Veisiejai, Ludwig Kaiser Zamenhof, the creator of Esperanto, an international auxiliary language. Zamenhof was a Polish-Jewish doctor and philologist who traveled a lot throughout Europe. While he only lived a few years in Veisiejai, it was the place where he actually finished creating Esperanto. After all that exploring, it's time to eat something. And there is one thing that is a must-try when visiting Dzūkija region: dzūkiškos bandos. It is one of those dishes that are the most simple, yet taste amazing. Dzūkiška banda is just a potato pancake on a dried cabbage leaf, baked in a traditional wood-burning oven, and served with bacon and sour cream sauce. Traditionally, the locals bake them on weekends, and it is a beloved comfort meal. However, you won't find it anywhere else outside Dzūkija region. There are a few places to try them across the region. In Lazdijai district, I found a small family business who bake them on weekends or during educational activities. From here, it is time to visit the district capital, Lazdijai town. Just as we say, it is known since 16th century, but it was almost completely ruined during the Second World War. After the war, Lazdijai had a strong partisan group, and the guerrilla fights against the Soviet government were very common here. One house in Lazdijai reminds us of those terrible days, the Museum of Freedom Fights. The museum is situated inside the house where the Soviets were imprisoning and torturing the partisans. It is a scary place, but it also is a very important part of Lithuania's history. Nowadays, Lazdijai is a much more cheerful place, and it is known for equestrian sports. Lazdijai has an equestrian club, a few horse farms and a hippodrome near the town, where all the horse riding events take place. More horses can be found at a nearby manor house, Aštrioji Kirsna. This 19th century manor is one of the largest in Dzūkija region, and it still has most of the buildings left. In total, there are 19 buildings, including a functioning stable and neoclassical style manor. The name Aštrioji Kirsna raises eyebrows to most of the people who visit, as it sounds very strange to a Lithuanian ear. Aštrioji in Lithuanian means spicy, but it's not related to the name. The name Aštrioji Kirsna is actually from an old Yotvingian tribe language, meaning Black River. Yotvingians, or Yotvingi in Lithuanian, were one of the Baltic tribes who later formed the Lithuanian state. Today, Aštrioji Kirsna is owned privately, and it is being slowly renovated, with the stables being the first to open. The manor is a popular place for private events, but its grounds are also open for casual visitors. The old park is large, and it is a perfect place for a walk by the ponds and streams. And the last but not least place to visit in Lazdijai district is Rudamina hill fort. It was used by Yotvingians since the 5th century, and in the 13th century Duke Ringaudas built a large castle. There is a legend saying that this was the castle where Lithuania's Grand Duke Mindaugas was coronated to be the first and the only king in Lithuania. The castle was later destroyed by the Crusaders in the end of the 14th century. And today we are just left with this tall hill and great views all around. Overall, I think that Lazdijai is a very interesting place to visit, with such beautiful nature in its two regional parks, which is a lot for a district in Lithuania. All that history surrounding the place only increased my curiosity about the region and Lithuania's history. I think that Lazdijai district is a perfect place for a trip to pristine nature, while at the same time you can learn something new. So, see you in Lazdijai district. Thanks for watching.